And Hamilton Mayor Fred Eisenberger joins us with more on the pandemic response. Mayor, we've been talking about this a lot over the weekend. Hamilton is one of 3 regions officially moving into the red zone tomorrow, joining Toronto and Peel. What does that mean for people in Hamilton?
Yeah, very unfortunate that we are, but I think a necessary step to protect the spread of this virus in our community. And you know what it means? By midnight tonight, we are going to be in the red zone, and that means that you're going to hopefully stay home as much as possible, aside from going out for essentials or attending school, work, or medical appointments. Work from home as much as you can, if possible. Restaurants and bars are allowed a maximum of 10 patrons indoors while dining, and are required to have a last call for alcohol at 9 p.m. and to be closed by 10 p.m. And only 4 people can be seated in a restaurant at any one table. And of course, dancing and singing are prohibited, and patios will remain open, and takeout will remain a dining option as well. Gyms will remain open as well, but with a maximum of 10 people allowed in an area with exercise equipment in it or weights, and 10 people can attend an indoor fitness class, 25 if it's outside.
We've seen other regions like Peel strengthen the guidance and make further restrictions. Will the city's rules be stricter than the provincial outline for the red zone?
Well, we don't know yet, and so our medical officer of health is looking at the guidelines, and will determine whether or not there's more necessary in Hamilton. Certainly, the Premier and Dr. Williams have taken a hard look at all of the restrictions in all the different areas. And if our medical officer of health feels that we need to do more, then we'll certainly probably hear about that on Monday when we have a Board of Health meeting and a media update at 3 or 4 o'clock, I think, tomorrow.
But what happens if a business doesn't comply with the guidance? Are there fines here in Hamilton?
There certainly are, and in the case of an individual, I believe it's up to $10,000 for a term of imprisonment for 1 year if they're not adhering to the guidelines. And for individuals or directors of a corporation, it's possibly up to $500,000. And for a corporate entity, it could be up to $10 million. So the fines are significant. My heart breaks for the businesses who've gone above and beyond to try and manage this. But, clearly there is a need to tighten up congregate settings across the board. Mm-hmm. And so, those fines would apply, and enforcement for the Emergency Measures Acts is going to be enhanced by our bylaw. And so those that are thinking that they can rest easy and not have to worry about these issues, there will be proactive enforcement going on to try and capture those that are not adhering to the regulations.
It's always important to remember people are dying, families are grieving. According to the numbers online, it appears 5 more people have died due to COVID over the weekend in Hamilton. Do we know anything more about these individuals?
We do a little bit. So there are all told 4 females that have passed away, or I'm sorry, 3. 1 of them in the general community, 2 of them in long-term care facilities, and 1 male at a Dundurn Place care center that died this past week in their late 80s. All of the females were in their mid to late 70s, and a male just recently now out of the Hamilton Continuing Care facility that died, who was in their mid-80s. So certainly our condolences and our heart goes out to those that have lost these loved ones.
Mayor, the red zone is just 1 step away from a full lockdown. The Premier said last week we're staring down the barrel of another lockdown. Do you believe we will experience another shutdown like the first wave? And what can we all do to avoid this?
I'm hoping we can avoid a lockdown. Having said that, if it's necessary and the numbers are potentially going to, put more people into harm's way and overtop our healthcare system, which is, really, really critical, then they're going to be faced with making choices between, those that get care and those that don't. That is not a position we want to be in, so we want to avoid that at all costs. So all we do is ask people to adhere to what they're being asked to do, and if we do that, we should be able to avoid a complete lockdown.
And we look forward to the update from Public Health tomorrow. Thank you, Mayor Eisenberger.
Okay, have a good night.